In the sports world, top physical and mental performance is what is desired for all athletes. However, even though top performance is sought after, it is not always the easiest challenges to accomplish. One of the many underlying factors for why top performance is difficult to attain is due to cognitive anxiety, which is a psychological based anxiety where one concerns or worries result in reduced ability to focus or concentrate, negatively affecting performance. To counteract this anxiety, the procedure of imagery will be studied to see if there is any correlation between cognitive anxiety and imagery.
Stefan, Koehn, Tony Morris, and Anthony P. Watt from Liverpool Hope University submitted a journal to the Sport Psychologist outlining the study of imagery intervention to increase flow state and performance in competition. This questioned the effectiveness of an imagery intervention on experience enhancement and performance in junior athletes. They hypothesized that the use of cognitive and motivational imagery would decrease low dimensions of individual ability, which would then indirectly increase competitive performance. Doing so, they studied 4 nationally ranked athletes under a 12-week process. The first six weeks just based on monitoring competitive performance, and the next 6 using mental imagery techniques, where each player mentally lived success, visualized clear goals, concentrated on the task, and going through the games in their head. As a result, 3 of the 4 nationally ranked players experienced a rise in their ranking list position, and the 4th player stayed neutral. Taking this into account, even though the sample size is quite small, professional and upcoming athletes can use imagery to build a better understanding of their roles, build a better understanding of the game, and possibly increasing their drive for success, and which will then affect their performance in sport.
Second study follows a process over a long-term basis. It's known as the PETTLEP. It stands for physical, environmental, task, timing, learning, emotional, and perspective. The model is based on neuroscience research findings that underline imagery and actual movement. A study compared the effects of PETTLEP imagery, which is more realistic imagery, example wearing correct clothing or imagining the correct environment, compared to effects of traditional imagery. In the study, 48 varsity field hockey players were divided into 4 groups: sport-specific imagery, clothing imagery, traditional imagery, and control. For 6 weeks, they imagined doing penalty flicks. The results showed that all 4 groups had an increase from pre-test to post-test. Sport-specific imagery group increased by 15.11%, traditional imagery increased by 5.59%, clothing imagery increased by 9.47%, and control increased by 1.14%.
A practical imagery-based routine is the quick set routine. It was developed by Jeff Simmons and is used 30 seconds before a competition. It follows 3 steps. The first step is to close your eyes, clear your mind, and maintain a consistent rhythm of breathing. The second step is to imagine success from previous attempts and recreate emotional feelings. And the third step is to return focus to competition with those recreated emotions. This helps to decrease cognitive anxiety by establishing self-belief and competitive strategies. Connecting this to real life, U.S. Olympian Emily Cook uses imagery as a large part of her game. In a Fox News interview, Cook quotes, "I would speak into a recorder. I am standing on top of the hill. I could feel the wind on the back of my neck. I can hear the crowd. Kind of going through all those different senses and then actually going through what I wanted to do for the perfect jump." What Cook is doing is visualizing her attempts in her mind before she actually does them. This is so that she can understand what she has to do so that she is not nervous or anxious before competition.
The studies that have been used follow the models of motivational change, dealing with the social cognitive theory, or SCT. It highlights the core of self-efficacy theory established by Bandura, which the beliefs in one's capabilities to organize and execute required actions as modeled, thus indirectly influencing performance. We use this theory to show how the use of imagery can be used to change one's beliefs of capabilities, lower their cognitive anxiety, and increase sport performance.